Good evening, everyone. I am here naman from US. Punta naman tayo
Wow.
sa Pasig City. With Miss Universe Philippines 2020 Pasig City, Riana Pangin Tell me if I get the surname. Pangindian. Tama?
Yan. Tama.
Ayun. So, good
Yan. Hello
evening.
everyone. Good evening.
So, kamusta naman? How was your ECQ? Na tayo, modified enhanced community quarantine. So how was it
Um,
the past 2 months?
for the past 2 months, okay naman. Actually, it's been a roller coaster. Alam mo yon. May days na masaya ka, may mga days na medyo muni-muni ka, lungkot-lungkutan, ganyan. So, each day is different for me. Pero, mostly I've been staying at home. So I try my best to be productive by doing chores, household chores. So araw-araw nag-chores ako. I also try to have some me time. So ito yung mga oras na mag-workout lang ako or makikipag-usap ako with my friends, catch up ako with them, ask them how they are. And then sometimes we just find anything spontaneous to do kasi kasama ko yung mga pinsan ko dito sa bahay. So, it's our opportunity, it's our chance to bond together. So, yun, we try to do things na spontaneous. So, yung isa kong pinsan, actually dalawa sa kanila, nag, nag-ask magpagupit ng hair. So, wala silang choice kung hindi ako lang
Well,
magugupit sa kanila.
so
So, yun.
naging successful naman ang gupit.
Oo, in fairness naman, feeling ko new skill ko yan this quarantine. Successful naman. Napantay naman namin siya. Yung isa kasi above the shoulder, init na siya. Yung isa gusto niya microbangs. So, masaya naman sila sa kinalabasan. So, I think effective naman. Naging success naman siya.
Oh, so shinare ko na muna 'to sa aking timeline ng
Sige,
may
sige.
manood. So, let me start off by asking you about your Miss Universe Philippines journey. How has it been so far?
Well, so far, so good. Syempre, before quarantine happened, sobrang masaya kasi it's somewhat new to us, since it's the first ever Miss Universe Philippines, diba? Masaya yung naging simula na yung mga activities namin, from the runway challenge to the learning journey module, so may ganun kami. I get to know yung iba-ibang girls. Ang siguro ako natutuwa ako sa Miss Universe Philippines because it's very diverse na talagang well represented yung mga yung mga Pilipina dito sa Philippines, 'di ba? So, ayun, kasi ngayon we're still actually waiting for we're still waiting for further activities, but they have oriented us naman na of the changes. So, sa October na nga yung pageant. So, what I do, I try my best to still prepare, still, keep my head on the game by practicing Q&A or working out or minsan pasarela on my own, nagpa-practice pa rin ako. And syempre, keeping myself informed.
I'm curious kasi sa girl pageant kasi nakwento ko sa iyo yun, 'di ba, na before I cover yung mga lalaki.
Right.
So, what do you think would be the difference between a male shed some light between female pageants naman? So, ano
Oh,
siguro yung pinaka-highlight pag sinabing female pageant?
male pageant. Ako naman, never pa ako nakanood ng male pageant. So, interesado din ako malaman ano nga bang difference ng dalawa. Pero siguro sa female pageant, um, as a contestant, ang masaya sa female pageant talagang kasi tayong mga babae, mahilig tayo makapagkwentuhan, nagchikahan, di ba? So talagang yung magkakaroon ka ng sisters after the whole journey. So yung sisterhood, yung friendship na magigain mo after the whole journey is something na talagang matitreasure mo forever. In terms of the performance level, syempre, alam naman natin, evening gown, swimsuit, yun yung mga inaabangan din ng mga tao, 'di ba? Na talagang mapakita ng bawat babae yung kanilang ganda, kanilang katalinuhan, kanilang kakayanan, 'di ba? Ayun. So, ano bang difference with the male pageant? I honestly don't know kasi I haven't watched any male pageants. Ano ba? Paano ba sa
Kasi,
male pageant?
sige. Actually, it's still this. Pag sinabi mong female, male pageant per se, pareho rin. Wala lang
Mhm.
sila masyadong preparation on the makeup, hindi ganun
Right.
ka, hindi ganun
Less.
ka, hindi naman sinabing less preparation, pero medyo konting ano lang sa kanila, okay na, ayos lang ng buhok, then ano, sa walang
Skincare.
intricate na patong-patong na damit.
Right. Ng falsies,
Pero
ayun.
wala. Pero with regards to activities,
Almost the same.
almost the same din yung ginagawa. May talent
Mhm.
competition din and all.
Right.
Ah, eto, what would be di ba before nag-pageant ka na?
Yes.
Nag-national pageant ka na. What would be the difference siguro now
Mhm.
versus yung before mong sali?
Right. Well, nung una kong sali, napakabata ko pa noon, 19 years old lang po ako noon. So,
Ay!
oo, bagets na bagets pa ako noon, very young, and I had no idea, like wala akong knowledge masyado of how pageantry really works. I mean, I watched from, 'di ba, in Miss Universe, napapanood ko siya, pero yung went through yung process, yung training and everything, nag-iba talaga yung view ko sa pageantry. Tumaas talaga yung respeto ko sa mga beauty queens dahil ibang klase yung preparations na pinagdadaanan ng bawat isa for the pageant. So, ayun, siguro noon dahil nga wala akong kaalam-alam, nangangapa ako most of the time. Kahit sa makeup ko, kahit sa kilay ko, minsan pupunta akong Araneta Center na hindi pantay yung kilay ko, sasabihan pa ako ng friend kong co-candidate, ano ba, pantayin natin yung kilay mo, mga ganyan, may mga ganong eksena. And I was very shy back then, so I was very reserved. So it was more of stepping stone for me to see more of who I am or to see more of my potential. So isa sa mga natutunan ko from my previous experience sa pageant na yon was to really conquer my fears. So ayun, um, ngayon joining Miss Universe and now being 23 years old, I've I guess I can say na mas nag-grow ako in terms of my personality, in terms of my emotional stability, my even my spirituality, ayan. So, I think for now, as I join Miss Universe Philippines, iba yung determination ko sa ngayon. Iba rin yung passion ko to really pursue what I want or pursue this dream or this goal that I have started. I feel like I have an unfinished business in the pageantry. So, ayun. For na ngayon as I join Miss Universe Philippines, I can say na I'm more confident, I know myself better, and I'm really willing to take up the challenge, whatever the challenge it may be.
Ayun, nawala ako saglit. My God.
Pero nakuha ba yun? Sana nakuha naman yung...
Nakuha naman yata yung nasabi. So, and let's entertain some questions here before tayo magpunta sa yung advocacy. Who do you think are the strongest candidates for Miss Universe Philippines? Just
Mhm.
give 5 names. Thank you.
Okay, 5 names. Well, lahat ng candidates talagang malakas. As in, iba-iba eh. We come from different walks in life. So, in different professions, ganyan. Pero ako personally, siguro yung 5 strong competitors, if you would say, would be Pauline Amelings. These people are actually a good friends of mine. So I really support them in this whole journey. So Pauline Amelings, Isabella Galleria, April Smith, um, of course Michelle Gumabao, and um, hmm, aside from myself, no?
Siyempre, isama na ang self.
Oo. So, ako yung pang-5, guys. Akala ko kasi baka aside from myself. So, yun. Those are my top 5.
Okay, so, hi Riana daw from Melvin Tan.
Hi, Melvin! Kamusta ka?
From Sir Ras Maharlika, pa-shout out daw from KSA.
Hi, Sir Ross? Ras.
Ras Maharlika.
Hi, Sir Ross Maharlika. Shout out from Pasig City.
Ano lang, pageant lang ano. So, how are you daw? Sabi ni Melvin.
I'm okay. Ngayon umuulan dito sa amin. Sa inyo ba? Umuulan ba sa inyo? Taga saan ka, Ate Michelle?
Quezon City.
Quezon City. Umuulan ba dyan? Hindi pa.
Kanina, umuulan. Parang dumaan na dito. Okay, so from Drex Richmond Duarte. Hello, Miss Riana. Who is the person you look up to the most?
The person I look up to the most would probably my parents, as in my mom talaga. Pero aside from my parents, one of my closest friends would be Venus Ra. So, isa siya sa mga naging talagang people I look up to, especially in pageantry. And not just in pageantry, she's been a mentor as well to me. So, yun, parang seeing her make an impact or just be a voice to, especially to the younger generation, is something very dear to me. So, isa siya sa mga nilook up to ko talaga. And aside from my parents, of course.
Okay, so how are you din daw from Paolo of Fiume Academy? Sa Milan, Italy, si Paolo.
Wow. Hi, Paolo. Thank you for watching all the way from Italy. I'm good. How are you doing? Sana safe kayo
Yun.
dyan.
Si Paolo is my boss sa Mr. Republica ng Pilipinas Europe. So siya lang yung aking pinagpupuyatan sa gabi. Char. Okay, so next topic natin is or all over online naman is your advocacy, which is education. So, doon tayo since medyo pressing problem and affected ang society natin. I'd like to hear your thoughts on school opening delayed, postponed, or ano ba? Ngayon parang ang gulo na ng situation. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Oo, actually ako dun parang inaabangan ko yan mayat maya, di ba? So medyo nagugulahan din ako, to be honest, kasi parang on-off yung decision nila about it. So from the onset, parang ang hirap isipin ano ba talagang makakabuti, di ba? Pero siguro as I think about it or as I process it, for me, honestly, mas gusto ko sanang wag muna ituloy yung classes for the safety of everyone, for the safety of the students, for the safety of the teachers. But I know it's not that easy, it will affect many other aspects of the economy or even of the business or the school itself, diba? So I think whether or not i-push through yung classes this coming year, I hope that the government and kasi mag-work hand in hand yung government and private sectors in really preparing a concrete solution or a concrete plan for the coming school year. I mean, ayun, like I've actually talked to some of my friends, some of my colleagues, nag-Zoom meeting kami kahapon. Kinakamusta ko lang sila kasi talagang nababurden ako of what's happening around us, especially na alam mo yun, especially on the teachers, sometimes hindi na natin sila masyadong napapakinggan, napapansin. So I really asked my colleagues about it. And as much as they, parang nahihirapan din sila. Emotionally, mentally, alam mo yun, na kahit gusto nilang talagang ipagpatuloy yung classes, syempre para, para mapagpatuloy din yung learning ng mga bata. Honestly, hirap din sila kasi it's something new to all of us, diba? So, yun, they just feel like siguro better if mag-provide tayo ng mga seminars siguro or webinars that will help them really process it, parang prepare them for this new normal na tinatawag nga natin. So some of them also have some technology gap. So yung iba sa kanila, wala ring matinong laptop, wala ring matinong internet connection. So sila din mismo, together with the students, is having a hard time talaga with the situation, diba? So, ayun, I think bottom line is I hope that the local government units and the Department of Education and even the private sectors work hand in hand in really preparing or providing a solution to this problem. I know we all are in this situation ng it's something new to all of us. So I'm sure nahirapan din sila. Pero ayun, I stand also with actually with Mayor Vico's parang opinion about
Plastic.
nabasa ko rin yan eh. Yung yung stand niya about it is that yun, maybe we should start looking for funds to provide internet connections sa bawat barangay. Alam mo yun, sana makapag-provide tayo ng internet connections para sa mga bata at for the teachers. Pwede rin tayo sana makapag-provide ng personal devices, di ba, sa kanila. And kanina, I was actually also watching the live of the Department of Education and yan, nananawagan din sila to really work hand in hand. It's I think now is a call for bayanihan talaga for all of us, especially na yun, hindi lang, alam mo yun, everyone's affected eh. Kasi mayaman ka o mahirap ka, affected ka. Kasi sikat ka o hindi, affected tayong lahat sa nangyayari. So ayun, I hope na talagang magawa ng solusyonan or mapag-preparean itong nangyayari dito ngayon.
Okay, so medyo follow-up question. Your thoughts on online classes naman? Kasi di ba yung ibang schools, they will continue the school year,
Right.
summer, and some of them, like sa amin sa UE, start na kami August, pero full of campus arrangements. Yun ang sabi ng school sa amin. So,
Right.
your thoughts naman about online classes?
Online classes. Well, I think it's really online classes would be a lot better than face-to-face. However, I acknowledge and recognize the problem or the need for the like better or quality internet connection or I acknowledge now we do have technology gap, especially for the other students, diba, na walang access to these kinds of devices or internet connection. Ayun, but I really think that it's better than face to face. I hope na, I mean, ako personally, siguro kung estudyante rin ako yan or kung teacher din ako ngayon, I would really make the most out of it. I've been seeing some articles then on how we can somehow make it more creative. So may mga possible mga yung anong tawag doon? Hope activities that we can do to really engage the students. I know it's hard, it's difficult than yung actual setup, pero yeah, I guess it's part of the new normal that we have to embrace, that we have to prepare for. So I also think that we should provide trainings or again webinars for the teachers to really be more equipped in the online teaching or online classes.
So, overall, favor ka naman sa online classes?
Mas favor ako sa online classes kaysa sa face-to-face. Ikaw ba?
Ako kasi, okay lang naman siya siguro sa amin na mga medyo may edad na nag-aaral. Pero yung mga, when it comes to the early, like your example, kasi I'm teaching in high school, but medyo may drawback pag high school ang online. Ewan ko ha, pero parang mas iba kasi, or depende na rin sa generation nowadays. Pero hindi ko rin talaga. So, if you were to build on an advocacy regarding and if you were to build a project pala with your advocacy, anong project na naisip mo and why?
Well, my advocacy, ang naisip ko talaga is like a community or a program that would help teachers be more how do we call this? To be taken care of. Kasi basically, ang advocacy ko talaga is to empower educators, to empower the youth, diba? Kasi Ako, I've experienced the struggles of being a student, diba? I think most of us have experienced that. Pero yung nag-take up ako ng education and graduate ako from education and now I'm a licensed teacher, na-experience ko yung struggles ng pagiging isang teacher. At hindi siya biro. So, nung pinag-iisipan ko talaga, ano nga ba yung advocacy ko? Ano nga ba yung gusto kong i-voice out or somehow to stand up for, diba? Naisip kong to be a voice for the teachers to be heard talaga na yung importance to take care of their emotional, social, mental, and even spiritual health nila, even physical health nila. Kasi feeling ko, yun yung, ano sila eh, they play a very important role to the lives of students, right? So if hindi sila empowered, hindi sila naalagaan, affected yung pagtuturo nila sa mga estudyante, di ba? Parang how will you empower someone who is not being empowered then? So, ayun, if I were to make a project, I would like to have a program that would really cater to the needs of each teacher and allow our teachers to just be taken care of and be heard and alam mo yun, provide trainings if they need to or seminars if they need to or even just a community that would listen to them. I think would really be a huge help in empowering our teachers to empower the youth.
Yun. So, dahil sabi ko wala tayong love life na pag-uusapan.
Walang oras para
Okay.
sa
So, what keeps you busy? Anong typical day mo ngayon?
Ngayong
Typical day.
Oo. Well, typical day
Oo.
ko, yan, gigising sa umaga, kakain, breakfast, and then usually after breakfast, start na ng chores ko yan. So, wala kasi kami kasambahay dito, so I do the washing of the plates. Depende sa kung anong nakaschedule na chores for that day. So, minsan, maglilinis ng electric fans, minsan maglalaba, minsan magpapaligo ng aso. Depende rin to kung ano yung utos ng aking mga magulang. So, pero yung most chunk ng araw ko is really devoted to chores and really just helping my parents because I live with my parents and tatlo lang kami ngayon. So, ayun. During my break times, I try to read a book. Hindi ako palabasa, so I really challenge myself to read a book. Sometimes naman, I exercise. So, actually, may schedule yung workout ko. MWF ako usually nag-workout. Usually, mga hapon yan. So, yun. I really saw the importance of keeping ourselves active. Alam mo yun, or kahit mag-workout tayo kahit sandali just to release some happy hormones. Ano pa ba? I usually talk to my friends. Ayan, kayo, kakamustahin ko kayo, re-replyan ko na kayo.
Oo, pero yung chikahan natin, inaabot na madaling araw eh, no?
Diba? Ganyan. So, ako, I really enjoy talking to people as well. So, medyo challenging siya sa akin kasi sobrang namimiss ko na talaga makita yung friends ko in person, mag-hug ganyan, mag-chikahan. Pero okay lang. I mean, this would do. I'm actually enjoying even itong mga live interviews. So, ayun. Ano pa ba? Usually, ganun lang yung buong araw ko. Tapos, sa gabi, yun na. After dinner, chores ulit, maghugas ng plato, tapos prepare myself to sleep or talk to you guys.
Okay, so, merong beautiful girl din na nandito. Nag-comment, si Kim Crizaldo. Ipadala siya ng smiley.
Hi, Kim! Miss you! Thank you for watching. Kumusta ka na, Day?
Sir Noli Berioso of OPMB is also watching. And we also have Sir Noli, hello po. Thank you for watching. Riana and I do our talk on education and her standpoints. How do you handle peer pressure daw? Or, tama, how do you handle peer pressure? May question dito. How do you handle peer pressure?
Peer pressure on what? General idea ba to of peer pressure?
Yun nga rin ang gusto ko rin malaman eh. Yun ba? Kung general ba or sige, ikaw, anong mas gusto mong i-explain?
How do I handle peer pressure? Ang hirap kapag walang specific thing. Pero siguro generally, ako, honestly, hirap ako minsan mag-no. Ako yung aminin ko may mga panahon na napaka-people pleaser ko. So, minsan nahihirapan ako kasi pag niyaya ako ng mga friends ko, ganyan, parang feeling ko kailangan ko mag-yes lagi or yung gano'n, hirap ako mag-no. So, what I do to really lessen the pressure or not give in to peer pressure, oftentimes I talk to my parents about it. Let's say may gusto talaga silang pinapagawa or what. Parang I try to parang step back and assess the situation, assess what they're trying to parang ask of me. And I talk to people. I talk to my parents about it. I talk to my trusted friends about it just to see if ano ba talaga yung wisest decision to go for it or not. Alam mo yon. So, pero ako din, syempre, at the end of the day, it's my decision. So ako, yun, I take a step back to judge the whole picture ba, or to see the situation, and somehow weigh the pros and cons, whether it's gonna be good for me or not. So, and learn to say no. Yun, I am trying to learn to say no talaga. And it's okay. It's okay to say no, especially if it will compromise yourself. It will compromise your values or your standpoints or your beliefs mo. So, ayun. Know who you
Sana
are para mas kaya mong...
Sana ako rin, kaya ko rin mag-no. Minsan hindi ko na,
Ang hirap, diba?
no. Minsan
Oo.
nag-yes. Parang
Naiintindihan
sabi
ko
ko,
yun.
kailangan mong i-place kasi si ganito, si ganyan. So mag-yes ka na lang, parang ganun. Now, we
Right.
also have with us, Sir Angel Comia is also here.
Hi,
Beautiful
Angel.
Riana.
Okay.
Thank you
Sobrang
for
supportive
promoting
mo.
this live chat, sir. Sana po nagustuhan niyo yung mga sinabi ni Riana kanina. And then, we also have Miss Universe Muntinlupa sitting, Marcris Castro.
Hi,
Chris
Chris.
Castro is also here.
Hi,
So,
Chris.
go down, go sis.
Hey,
And
sis.
there's another question here. If there is last 3 women standing in Miss Universe Philippines aside from yourself, who do you think will it be?
Last woman standing. Aside from
Kung
myself,
ikaw and another, syempre ikaw na yung isa, di ba?
yung tipong, ano na kayo, holding hands na kayo, gano'n.
Kung holding
Yung
hands na
ganun.
and the next, sino?
Ay,
Sino?
oh my God. Sure. Siguro it will be Pauline Amelings. Talagang nakita ko, nakasama ko si Pauline the trainings namin. And so nakita ko talaga yung passion niya and determination niya in joining this competition. And so, yun, if I were to stand with the last woman standing, I hope it will be Pauline Amelings. And yun, I know that she feels the same way with me. So, yun, super proud ako sa kanya. Kasi kita ko talaga yung drive niya and determination niya to join this pageant. Sorry, ang lakas ata ng ulan. Naririnig yung pa ba ako?
Ako nakikinig. Dito rin eh. Dito
Oo,
rin
diba?
actually. Medyo, parang ano na. Okay, so, my next question will be, what are they going to expect from you within the coming months? Your turn na rin to plug yung Miss Universe Philippines. Hindi pa tayo tapos ha, pero I'm going kasi on another topic eh, sana.
Okay. So sorry, the question is, what do you guys expect from me?
From you and from Miss Universe Philippines po, within the next months before the coronation night.
Right. Well, what you can expect from me is more of just me being myself, knowing more of who I truly am. That is my ultimate goal, is for you guys to really know the real me. As we are being encouraged in Miss Universe Philippines, we are to be authentic, and I'm very happy that the organization wants us to be authentic and allows us to learn through the journey. And ako, ganun akong klaseng tao. I really want to learn as I go along. So, yeah, if I hope to see, I hope to show you more of who I truly am. And for Miss Universe Philippines, well, the organization, or we're preparing so much for you guys. Sorry, na-distract ako sa thunder. So, ayun, right now, we're hindi ko pa, I'm not sure if I can really disclose details to you guys, but
Hindi, kung ano lang yung na-disclose na nila as your way of promoting na rin.
So, meron kaming tinatawag na ring light series. Ayan, isa yan sa mga talagang dapat abangan ng mga pageant fans or ng mga viewers talaga natin sa Miss Universe Philippines, because it will showcase more of the lives or the personality of each candidate, and just how we go through or how we learn along the whole journey in becoming the next Miss Universe Philippines. So, yun. And
So,
the pageant night, for everyone's knowledge, the pageant night will be on October 25. So, yun, isa rin yun sa mga dapat nating i-mark sa calendars natin. Yung coronation night of Miss Universe Philippines.
okay, so punta naman tayo sa next. Sabi mo kasi nag-review ka. Char.
Oh my goodness. Graded recitation po pala to, guys.
Graded recitation po ito, hindi po ito live chat. So, hindi. Madaling lang to. I would ask you a few statements, then you react lang. Like, for example, I'll start na with, what is the biggest impact of social media in today's Philippine pageantry?
Biggest impact of social media to Philippine
Kasi
pageantry.
noon, di ba, mga year 1990,
wala naman ako.
Wala. Pero hit naman ng pageants noon kahit pa paano. Time nila Rufa Gutierrez, may hit naman ng pageant yun. So, what will be the biggest impact of social media when it comes to the Philippine pageants?
Well, I think for me, social media has its pros and cons. Alam niya yun. So, yung pros niya sa Philippine pageantry is mas madali nang makilala ang bawat candidate, mas madali nang makita ng mga tao yung kung sino kami, through the pictures that we post, through the captions that we write, diba? I think social media is a really great tool for us to communicate, to send a message to people, and it can get across worldwide, alam mo yun? So, hindi lang siya limitado dito sa Pilipinas, diba? It can go across the whole world. So, I think social media, yun, isa yun sa napaka-importanteng use ng social media sa pageantry, sa Philippine pageantry. And syempre yung cons niya, it can also parang give an unnecessary pressure perhaps to the candidates, unnecessary alam mo yun, thinking na, oh shucks, I have to, yung likes ko, bakit ang konti lang, yung followers ko, ang konti lang. So, medyo toxic din siya. So, I guess we really have to know the balance of using the social media or using it responsibly. Even for the followers, I hope na sila rin maging responsible followers sa kanilang mga kanya-kanyang sinusuportahan na girls or even sa male pageantry, I guess, na ayun, if we could really just be more encouraging, if we could just really be more respectful rather than, alam mo yun, bashing each other. Like, ako personally, I don't see any benefit sa pagbabash. So, ayun, I hope na i-lessen natin yan. Kasi talagang, wala it just creates unnecessary pressure and toxic mindset on things.
Very well said. The lesson natin ng bashing, let's promote peace on earth and goodwill to everyone. So, my next question is, napansin ko rin, you have pretty much close relationships with your fellow candidates. Is it really, na-build na lang ba yun or talagang bonded na talaga kayo?
Well,
kasi parang napansin ko lang kasi with you girls, parang walang competition at all.
Oo, actually, natutuwa din ako kasi, di ba parang dati, ang tingin ng mga tao sa pageants, parang may mga agawan ng gown, may mga siraan ng sapatos, ganyan. Well, hindi pa I mean, ako, sa experience ko sa pageantry, wala pa naman talaga. And, in fact, yun nga, totoo yung sinabi ko nung simula na talagang sisterhood siya, na ako kasi wala akong ate, wala akong younger sister din. So, ako personally, I really try my best to reach out and just make the most out of it. Yung time namin together to get to know each girl, to get to know all of them, and have a a healthy and like a pure friendship. Alam mo yun, yung healthy kind of relationship with each of them. Kasi at the end of the day, after the pageant, 'di ba? Parang isa lang yung mananalo eh. So, parang alam mo yun, ang pangit
Oo.
naman tapos yung journey mo, kaaway mo silang lahat, kasi hindi ka pa nanalo. So, 'di ba? Parang might as well parang enjoy the moment, get to know these girls, knowing na they come from different walks of life. Ako, honestly, nag-enjoy ako marinig yung mga Bisaya naming candidates. Sobrang, ako personally, I want to learn more of Bisaya. So, natutuwa ako na pag nag-uusap sila in Bisaya, and I try to listen, I try to learn their language, yung gano'n, na ang daming pwedeng matutunan. So, it's an effort, actually. It doesn't come naturally, kasi syempre, iba-iba tayo. So it really has to come from each girl. It really has to come from, let's say, for me to reach out and get to know this person and build a relationship with her and just talk about anything under the sun. And magugulat ka na rin na sila rin pala gusto rin naman nila ng kaibigan.
And to follow that up, sinong pinaka-close mo sa mga kasama mo ngayon na candidates?
Yun. Ang hirap niyan kasi madami-dami na rin sila.
Like, siguro yung parang pagbubuo kayo ng tipong girl group, yung feeling mo na yung mga girls na yun yung kasama mo sa girl group na yun.
Oo. Well,
Para hindi
alam mo,
naman sabihin na tayo may favorites.
oo.
Sino
Well, in
pinaka-close mo?
natutuwa ako kasi ang dami namin, 'di ba? 51. Parang oo, natural naman na magki-cling on ka sa a certain group, lalo na siguro yung mga kalengguwahe mo, 'di ba? Pero alam mo yung at the end of the day, like lahat kami nag-uusap-usap pa rin. Alam mo yun, hindi siya nagiging cliquish. So, ayun, ako personally ayoko kasi ng ganun. Ayoko talaga yung or siguro hindi lang ako mabarkada type of person. So, hindi ako yung mabuo ng mga girl group. Ako yung tipong tao na kahit sino gusto kong makausap at gusto kong makakilala. Ayun, siguro yung mga Aces sisters ko, sila talaga yung isa sa mga pinaka-close ko sa pageant. Kasi syempre, we trained together, di ba? Even before Miss Universe Philippines started. So, sila yung mga nakakausap ko talaga. Pero sa Miss Universe Philippines mismo, I also got to know sila Cristel Abelio, sila Eliza, sila Bella, ayan, sila MJ, alam mo yun. So, iba-iba talaga. Actually, medyo nalungkot ako nung nangyari to kasi syempre, nabawasan yung
Parang na-cut short,
Oo,
cut short
na-cut
yung mga bonding.
Bonding namin. Naalala ko na yung huling activity pa namin bago mag-lockdown was the learning journey module. So, ang saya-saya namin nung nag-hepe hooray kami. Ayun. So, nakakamiss silang lahat.
Then, another statement that I will ask you to react is, eto na pag-usapan natin to sa chat eh. Gusto ko lang i-ano dito.
Alin doon?
Pag maganda ba yung babae, dapat may boyfriend o single? Dapat single lang. O okay lang na single?
Okay. Alam mo, yung tanong na yan, pinag-isipan ko yan mula nung tinanong mo. Hindi, ako, tingin ko talaga.
Magmakahalata naman na may orientation tayong dalawa.
Oo nga eh. Sige, kunyari ngayon mo lang tinanong. Ano siya, for me, walang dapat. Alam mo yun, hindi siya, it shouldn't be a dapat. Alam mo yun, pag maganda ka, dapat may boyfriend ka. Or pag hindi ka maganda, questionin ka bakit ka may boyfriend. Hindi dapat ganun eh. Like, walang dapat. I think that it's, entering into a relationship is something personal eh. It's a, diba, personal decision of each individual. So, I can't really judge, bakit siya, ito yung boyfriend niya, or bakit hindi mo sila bagay. Yung gano'n na, hindi, wala ako sa posisyon para sabihin yon. And sa mga tao na iniisip na kailangan, para magka-boyfriend ako o magka-jowa ako, kailangan maganda ako. I hope na wag niyo na pong isipin yon kasi hindi lang talaga dapat basehan ang yung panlabas na anyo natin. Hindi yan dapat ang basehan ng pagbo-boyfriend. Kasi kung yan ang basehan, madisgrasya ka lang, masira yung mukha mo, naku, paano yun? Iiwanan ka na ba? Diba? So it's something that should go beyond what we see. Entering into a relationship is, for me, something very sacred. It's something very talagang kailangan mo siyang pag-isipan ba? Alam mo yon, hindi ka madala lang ng kahit sino. Siguro pwede natin ipasok sa peer pressure yan. Sa tanong kanina, if napi-peer pressure kang magka-boyfriend, I hope na wag kang mag-give in just because na-pressure ka na kasi lahat ng kaibigan mo may boyfriend. It I think isa sa mga natutunan ko, before you enter into a relationship or before you find the one, you have to learn to be the right one first. Alam mo yon? You have to know
Mm.
first sino ka ba talaga. Kasi kung may mga hang-ups ka sa buhay or what, ang hirap naman if madala mo yun. But you don't have to be perfect. Like, you don't have to figure things out right away. But all I'm saying is that you have to be the right one before you find the one. And yan, I guess be content also. Ang dami kong pwedeng sabihin tungkol dyan. Pero siguro for now, ayun, yun yung tingin ko na walang dapat.
Ang mga hugot ni Riana.
Dr. Love na nga, di ba?
Dr. Love na po tong episode na to. Sorry po sa mga nanonood. Okay, so another question we have here is, what kind of obstacles did you have to overcome to compete in this pageant?
Obstacles that I had to overcome to compete for this pageant. Well, I guess my journey in joining this pageant started way back 2016. So, doon naman talaga nagsimula yung interest ko rin sa pag-join ng pageant after my first stint back in 2016. And during that time, I had to give up my education. I mean, I had to file a leave of absence kasi nung time na yon, nagsabi naman ako sa dean namin and they supported me, pero we still had to stick to the rules. So, may allowable absences lang. So, ayoko namang masira yung, alam mo yun, yung, anong tawag
Yung
doon?
pangalan ng school.
Hindi yung pangalan ng school eh. Or yung grades ko. Yung, anong tawag doon? Oo, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi ang magiging record nun, absent ako lagi or alam mo yun, hindi ako nakapagpasa. Although willing ako to do it ng sabay, pero in-advise na rin ako na why not take a leave of absence na lang para ayun nga, hindi masira yung record. Ayun, yung record ko sa school. At the same time, makapag-focus ako sa pageant. So, it was a decision that I had to make at that time. It was hard kasi nga, syempre, alam mo yung nag-enter ka ng college, ang plano mo graduate on time. Wala kang ma-fail na subject, ganyan, para graduate ko on time. Pero that had to happen. But it's okay. I don't regret it because I've learned so much from that experience. And after one, nakabalik naman ako. So I was able to go back to my studies and I was able to finish it last year. I finished last year. And yun, I guess that's one of the major obstacles that I faced in joining or in starting my pageant journey.
Okay, another question from Antoinette Gakayan. Ano ang pinaka-edge mo sa ibang candidates? If you do you consider yourself having an edge?
Edge talaga.
Edge.
Well, when I think about that question, I think that all of us kasi are beautiful. All of us are capable, diba? All of us have the potential to win this pageant. But what sets me apart from everyone is myself, is my story, is who I am. And so I think that's one of my edge in this pageant, is just being myself and parang knowing yung story ko. Ano ba talaga yung sino ba talaga ako at ano ba talaga yung mabibigay ko sa public, 'di ba? So, ayun, and for me, one of my I guess greatest parang weapon in joining this pageant is really my faith in God, because I believe na none of this would happen if not from him, if not because of him, alam mo yun. So, siya yung nakita ko talaga kung paano niya ako dinala sa journey na ito. So, ayun, I just keep my faith in him and just trust the process, trust the journey, and of course do my best in every challenge, in every step of the way. Gagawin ko pa rin yung part ko.
Ayun. So, ang ganda daw this girl, sabi ni Bems Quinto. I think you know her.
Thank you.
Bems.
Bims?
Bems Quinto.
Baka sa
Okay,
face.
so next question ko would be, since alam naman natin, isa lang ang mananalo sa Miss Universe Philippines, it would be nice syempre if you win, di ba?
Hmm.
So, if you win, doon tayo sa two situations. If you win, what will be the first thing that gagawin mo the next day after mo manalo? Yun
Aha.
muna sagutin mo.
Okay. Siguro the first thing na gagawin ko after ko manalo, iyak lang ako sa tuwa. Or magsistay lang ako sa kama, tapos sobrang iyak lang ako sa tuwa. Talagang, hindi mo makakapaniwala talaga. Yung parang mapapatulala pa ako ng mga ilang, alam mo yun, parang grabe. And I really thank the Lord if that happened. Kasi, yun nga sobrang laki nitong challenge na to. Alam mo yan, yung malagpasan ko to at sabihin nating manalo ako. Wala, enjoy ko. Eto, ganito. Tulala. Siguro, I'm gonna talk to my friends, my family about it, and we're gonna celebrate. Pamilya ko, mahilig kami mag-celebrate kahit anong event, kahit maliit na bagay yan, maghahanda yung pamilya ko. So, probably after the following day, mag-celebrate kami as a family and just, share the victory that I had. And, yun, share ng mga funny moments or whatnot. Ganun.
Meron ditong tanong, what gives you peace of mind when you are faced with a struggle?
Mm-hmm. What gives me peace of mind is knowing that I have a God who is in control, knowing that He's bigger than my problem, and that He sees the bigger picture, and that He loves me, He cares for me. And I hope that you too, kung sino man yung nagtanong, ma-experience mo yun at maisip mo yun na hindi ka nag-iisa at talagang totoo at buhay ang Diyos at He's in control. So, yun, you can put your trust and your faith in Him that He will take care of you and that, you know, nothing is impossible with Him. And so, malalagpasan mo rin yan at kasama mo si Lord.
Yun. From live chat to Dr. Love to prayer meeting na po ito. So, hello, good evening Riana from aking better half ng vlog na to, si Drixie, na late siya.
Hi,
ng... And sabi, I don't know if this is your kamag-anak mo to or parents mo, Lazaro Pangindian. Sama daw siya.
Tito ko yan, kapatid ng brother ko. Hi, Tito Larry. Taga Cebu sila.
Wow. May tumatawag sa akin. Later na lang po. Okay, love you daw. Ari from Patricia Camille Gutierrez.
Oh, Trish! Thank you for watching. I love you. Kasaposap ko sa kagabi. Pinag-prepare namin to.
Wow! May graded review pala to.
May groupings kami.
Meron pala ditong ang next question ko is, dahil ba naka-quarantine tayo ngayon, nagda-diet ka ba?
Ay, sorry, natawa ako. Ang gandang tanong yan. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, hindi.
Hindi ka nagda-diet ngayon? Hindi ka nagda-diet ngayon?
Sobrang, ang dami rin nag-comment na sobrang payat ko daw. So, even before quarantine happened, I asked my coach about it and he allowed me naman to eat. Kasi dati ang diet namin, kamote, boiled egg, ganyan. So actually, I was healthy, alam mo yun. Pero dahil nga masyadong payat yung build ko, even before, ayun, nagsabi nila magpataba ka konti, ganyan. So, and siguro ngayon, well, to be honest, isa sa coping mechanism natin, or siguro ako ang kumain. So, I haven't really, but I try to avoid, syempre yung mga hindi talaga, yung mga junk food, so chips, mga sobrang oily food, I try my best not to eat those na. So, mga ulam, anong tawag? Lutong bahay. So, yan.
On a scale of 1 to 10, from 1 to 10, you are an 11 daw, sabi ni Richmond Duarte.
Thank you, Rich.
Sabi naman ng aking better half at partner sa vlog, What is the most important issue that our generation is facing right now?
One of the, biggest issue.
Oo.
Tama ba? Mm-mm. Um, well, there are a lot of possible answers to this question, like cyberbullying, perhaps. Especially ngayon na quarantine tayo, social media na lang talaga lahat, 'di ba? Everything's virtual, everything's being done online. So I think the cases of cyberbullying is also rising. So I think it's really important that we also look after the younger generation. If we have brothers and sisters younger than us na we can talk to, we can provide help, support, gawin natin. Kasi minsan hindi nila i-open up yan eh. Alam mo yun? Minsan they're gonna fight it silently and just struggle, and then later on, yun na, nandito na or nandito na. 'Di ba? So gagawa na sila ng mga actions that could lead to a more serious issues. So, ayun, I think with that, we should be available for them, for them to talk to and for us to listen.
Have you ever been bullied daw? And if so, how did you handle it?
Yeah.
Ang maganda ba nabubully?
Oo, bakit? Oo naman, walang pinipili ang nambubuli siguro. Char. Well, nung bata ako, syempre hindi pa ganito itsura ko.
Siyempre na tayo nag-e-evolve.
Nag-puberty eh, oo. So, dati talagang, ako, payat, tapos, mas morena ako before. Ano yun?
So,
Sorry.
mas payat ka pa dati.
Payatin talaga ako. As in, maliit kasi talaga yung buto ko. Ewan ko kung totoo yun. Pero, yun yung sinasabi, maliit yung buto ko. So, payat talaga ako. Pero, yes, I've experienced bullying, specifically back when I was around in grade 6, I think. Grade 6 yon. More on ano sa akin eh, emotional or I guess verbal bullying. I went to an all-girls school kasi. So, very, sa amin, malaking bagay yung mga barkada, alam mo yon, yung being popular girls, yung mga ganyan. So, hindi ako doon. And at that time, hindi ko rin maintindihan bakit ako binubully. So, totoo lang, kasi those people who bullied me back then I thought were my friends. Pero disclaimer, okay na kami ngayon na. As in, napatawad ko na sila. As in, we have good relationship. Pero just to recall, back then, ayun, sila yung akala ko barkada ko. And then, it turned out, I think, second quarter ata yun, hanggang fourth quarter na, wala talaga akong kaibigan. As in, they started sharing gossips about me, or they started, as in, iniiwan lang nila ako. Like, hindi nila ako sinasama pag lunch, ganyan. So, yun yung mga moments na iyak-iyak talaga ako, wala akong kasama, ganyan. Kahit nung, naalala ko na may activity kami, stargazing. So, isa yun sa mga inaabangan namin kasi mag-overnight kami sa school. So, syempre, mga barkada, excited sila kasi, uy, besh, tabi tayo, keme-keme, ganyan. Pero ako, wala talaga akong friend. Pero alala ko, ang tumabi sa akin nun, yung teacher ko, advisor ko talaga. Ayun, isa siya sa parang talagang person na nakausap ko about it. And, siguro isa na rin sa mga tumulong sa akin to surpass that. So, how did I handle bullying? Well, I inopen up ko sa mom ko. I was honest with my mom and I really told her, ma, hindi ako okay. Ito yung na-experience ko sa school. So, I encourage yung mga bata na if you are experiencing bullying, don't be afraid to open it up to your parents. Because your parents love you so much, no matter what. So, I'm sure they're gonna be willing to really listen to you and do something about it. So, ayun, I opened it up to my mom and she listened and she just encouraged me to, at the time, doon nagsimula yung, I guess, yung relationship ko with the Lord. Doon niya pinakilala sa akin si Lord na, alam mo anak, huwag kang mag-alala, hindi ka mag-isa. Mahal ka ni Lord, kasama mo siya, kaibigan mo siya. So, kahit anong mangyari, sumbong mo kay Lord. Si Lord bahala sa'yo. So, yun, doon nag-start yung growing love and relationship ko for the Lord. And true enough, that helped me really rise above that challenge and saw them, even my friends, with love, with compassion, that these people perhaps are also going through something. And, being a friend to them could actually help. So, that's what I did. I just continued being a friend to them. And sooner or later, ayun, na-resolve naman namin. And I'm very thankful kasi siguro if hindi dahil doon sa nangyaring yun, hindi ko rin makikilala si Lord at hindi rin ako makakapag-grow into this woman that I am now.
Do you think, ito rin ang gusto mong tanong sana, do you think technology is hurting personal relationships?
Depends. Nawala ako dun.
Okay. Do you think technology is hurting personal?
Do you think
Technology is hurting personal relationships?
Okay. Well, it depends. It depends on how you use these technologies. Because I think that technology was made to have progress, was made to better our lives, para mas maging madali ang buhay para sa isa't isa at mas mapalapit tayo in a way through technology. Pero yun nga, depende sa kung paano natin to gagamitin, sa kung paano natin to gagamitin even towards other people. So yun, it could hurt personal relationships. But it depends. Ano bang context ng question na yun?
Okay. Next question ko sana is, hindi siya question actually. Sabi ni Antoinette Gakayan, you are really working on your advocacy, ate. You help so many women out there.
Thank you, Antoinette. Yeah, well, I do my best to really work on it. Well, I can't do it on my own. Alam mo yun, isang tao lang ako. So I really hope to have more people, fight this advocacy with me. But yes, as with what I can and with how much, I can give, I try my best to really be there for them, for people, for young girls, and for teachers as well.
Okay, so let's continue with my alam ko namang nag-review ko eh.
Oh my goodness.
So, how would you react now sa fake news all over? 'Di ba? We're all confined in our homes.
Right.
Using social media. Pero liglipa na ang fake news. How would you react kung yung sa prevalence ng fake news, and how will you help dissect yung fake news?
Excuse me. Well, I really think that sa panahon na to ngayon, sana talaga, hindi ko ba alam sino ba nagkakalat ng mga fake news na yan. Sa totoo lang, huwag niyo na pong gawin. Kasi sa panahon na natin ngayon, wala it doesn't also, alam mo yun, it doesn't do us any good, especially all of us are really concerned of what's happening, and we all want to be informed with the right information. We all want to know what we can do to help. But if we continue to spread fake news, such as these things, it would just slower our way to progress. It will slower our way to our goal to heal as one, di ba nga? As how our nation is encouraging all of us to. So, ayun, I hope that for us to really dissect kung fake news ba siya, we'll make sure talaga na siguro, ako, personally, hindi ako expert sa ganito, pero ako, what I do, I really check the links, I check kung talaga bang, recognize siya, as in legit na source siya. So, I also limit yung mga fina-follow, especially sa Instagram, because I follow some news, social media ng mga news anchors. So, like, yung mga CNN, ayan, Rappler. So, I limit to those na talagang alam kong verified lang. So, yun, I guess that's one thing that people can do, is to know your sources and just really follow the verified accounts.
I'm down to na pala, 8 o'clock na pala. Napapasarap ang kwento ko. I'm down to my last 3 questions. Siguro mga 2 o gano'n. If you could give a message to your ilang taong ka na ba now?
23.
Baka mamali ang compute ko eh. If you would give a message If you give a message to your 18-year-old self na lang para safe, anong message mo para sa yung 18-year-old self?
To my 18-year-old self, well, ang sasabihin ko sa kanya, don't worry too much. You will get there. Life, well, kasi nung 18 ako, ano bang ginagawa ko nung 18 ako? I was entering college. Yeah, so don't worry too much. Don't worry too much about your future, about what's gonna happen after you graduate or not, because God is with you, and so He will really guide you and protect you all throughout. So continue to just love Him, continue to put your trust in Him, kasi yun, it will all work out eventually, and God has great plans for you. So don't worry too much, and don't try to please people, because you can't please everybody. That's all.
Note to self, man. Note to self. Note to self.
Note to self.
Oo. And then, lastly, your message na lang to your fans, Miss Universe Philippines fans, and lahat ng supporters mo.
Alright. So, sa lahat po ng supporters ko at sa lahat po ng fans ng Miss Universe Philippines, maraming salamat sa support na binibigay niyo sa amin, sa love na binibigay niyo sa amin, sa lahat ng candidates. Thank you very much, because you guys are one of the reasons why we also continue, doing our best and continue fighting what we want to fight for, because it's really for you. Joining this pageant gives us an opportunity to speak and to be heard, but more so it allows us to be an epitome of a phenomenal woman, of a Filipina, and so kayo po talaga ang hangad naming ma-representa. So we thank you for what you do for all of us, and I hope that you will continue to support us and support me until the end, and continue to stay safe and stay strong, especially now during the pandemic. Kapit lang po tayo at kaya natin tong malagpasan. Sama-sama po tayong lahat.
Social media accounts, dear, pa-promote na rin.
So you can follow me and follow my journey in my social media accounts. So my Instagram is @Riana Agatha. And for my Facebook page, it's Riana Pangindian. So, ayun. May Twitter din ako, pero I rarely use it. But if you want to follow me on my Twitter, it's xgoodgalriri. Shucks, napaka grade school ko pa ata
Spell.
xgoodgalriri. So, R-I-R-I.
Parang very high school ang
Diba? Very high school. Sabi ko sa inyo, tagal ko na hindi siya ginagamit.
Pero tagal na yun.
Update myself. Ang tagal na, no? Palitan ko na ba?
Ang tagal na nun. Okay.
Right. Profile picture ko noong 2016 pa eh. Sige nga, ma-update. Hindi kasi talaga ako ma-social media, sa totoo lang. Pero I use Instagram and Facebook most of the time. So, doon ako active. So, you guys can follow me with, sa Riana Agatha.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. All the best sa Miss Universe. Di ba hindi kita pinahirapan tonight?
Oo nga. Walang love life. Maraming salamat po.
Walang love life kasi wala ring love life yung kausap mo eh. Okay, thank you for joining me.
Also, publicly, itong si Ate Michelle, guys, napaka-passionate din yung ginagawa niya. So, maraming salamat for giving me the opportunity as well to just speak about my advocacy and talk about the pressing issues of education. And I hope, pwede mong kausapin kapag may mga nasistress ka sa school and whatnot. Sige, chat mo lang ako. But yeah, thank you for what you're doing also for your students.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.